Welcome to Victorian Christmas. My name's Kevin Lindsay. This is my better half, Susan. You are in an 1840s log cabin. This cabin originally was in Monroe. Actually, it's more of a log home, I should say that, because you know, it's bigger than a cabin. And someone took the time and effort to go through and square off all these logs on the inside. Fireplace is the center of the home at this point in time. It's also our heat source and our water heater. And right now, Susan is using 2 ovens in front of it, making some Christmas treats for today. Which one you're going to start with that one?
Okay, good.
Okay. This one she's looking at here is a Dutch oven. She takes the coals. You don't want the hot, you want the red coals. She's got coals underneath it. She's got coals on top of it. And inside of it, once she finds a handle, she is making a cranberry apple tart, which is an 1860s recipe. Dessert.
Yes.
And depending on temperatures, depending on the fires, it would cook in about the same amount of time as a modern oven.
Not today.
Not today. It's too cold. The other one next to it, because that's very, very heavy, because it's cast iron. The one next to it, if you had a tinsmith in the area, you would have a reflector oven. And it's all made out of tin, it's very light, and the heat goes in there. Heat goes in and cooks the cookies. She's making cookies right now. She's making a molasses cookie.
That's
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a couple of things I'm working on today. Okay, we got everybody in. So one of the things I'm working on currently is a centerpiece for our Christmas Day table. So I've got a lot of fruits around here, and this isn't something I'm gonna have year round. I'm gonna send out special for at least the oranges and the pomegranate here. The apples you can store in our cellars and still have them available to us, and then also in dried formats as well. But the rest we're sending off for. I've decorated the little oranges with some cloves on it to add to the spiciness of it. Would you like to take a whiff of these? Sure. Another thing I'm working on is actually some paper folding. So I'm gonna start off this origami sheet, but any square sheet of paper. And then in a series of folds that I'm making it, we can make a gift. A little. So I'm gonna hang this on the tree. It's got a little bell. This is my Christmas bell. But if you string it in a certain way at the top, you can open it up and you can put little gifts inside of it. So it's really good for candies and just other little treats that you can hang on the tree. And we do have our tree in the other room, and you can see some other formats of ornaments that we can put on. But yeah, that's what I'm doing here to get ready, but we've got more people in the parlor, and they can tell you more about the Christmas trees, ornaments, and some gifts that you may receive.
Do you have any questions?
Welcome. Of course, it's Christmas Eve here at Castle, and we are kind of working on some last minute gifts that we're sewing and putting together. And of course, we've been working on our 1860s Christmas tree. This would have been kind of an occasion for Christmas Eve. So you'd probably, on Christmas Eve, go get the tree with your family, go cut it down, and bring it in that day. Not, the 1st of December or the day after Thanksgiving like we like to do nowadays. So you'd bring your tree in and then start decorating. On this tree, just like in the period, you'd find a mix of store-bought items, store-bought decorations, some that are maybe even coming from Germany, being imported. In the period, Germany is known, of course, not just for their toy making, but also for their beautiful, kind of glass and metal Christmas ornaments. But then it's also a mix of homemade things, just like nowadays. You know, your kids' ornaments that they're making in Sunday school and bringing home. So we have paper cones filled with store-bought candy, of course, a very exciting treat for the kids and for everyone. And then, of course, you do notice the candles as well. Candles would be very common and very popular, but you know, you're not lighting them and leaving the room. You know, we love our tree lights on all day and all night for our trees nowadays. But again, more of a Christmas Eve or a Christmas Day occasion. You'd light the candles, you'd ooh and ah, especially at night, you'd bring the kids in and show them the tree. We have an account from one of the popular magazines of the 1860s, this whole story of what they're putting on the tree, how they're decorating it, and then they're keeping the kids out of the room until Christmas Eve evening, and then they open the double doors to the parlor and let all the kids in, and the kids can see the presents that are theirs tied onto the tree as well. So that was popular too, to tie your gifts up on the branches. Hopefully they were strong enough.
All right, welcome to Christmas Day 1865. So you just left Caswell House, you got to talk all about the festivities and the fun that is Christmas Eve. And then just like now you get to Christmas Day and it's kind of, now what? And it seems to be similar vibes during the Victorian. It's a little bit of a slower, quieter kind of day. It doesn't necessarily have some of the raucous fun necessarily of Christmas Eve. You know, and like I said, that's more or less my life these days, so nothing changes sometimes. Things you might do on Christmas Day as a Victorian, you're probably going to get up, you might have your breakfast, things like that. You'll go to church at least once. I have seen accounts of people going once in the morning and again in the evening, different masses. You might go visiting friends, things like that. I found some primary sources that have some cool things in them. This letter from Rebecca Saffield to a soldier that her writing was her brother. Sent in 1861, she says, Christmas Day, I sent Mr. Pierce some Christmas dinner for which I received thanks. So she's going out and doing good works in her community. My guess is Mr. Pierce is that kind of lonely old guy that, you know, somebody's checking in on, right? She wanted to make sure he had a good meal. So that is the kind of thing that she's doing on Christmas Day. Julius Hedge, on the other hand, probably had too much fun. He says, I spent a right happy Christmas. We all went to church, except Father, where I recited 2 verses that we sang last year, and after meeting, we went to Uncle Christian's house and was vaccinated for smallpox.
Now remember, during the 19th century, anything that you were eating during that time was going to be seasonal. Today, you can go to the grocery store and buy strawberries all year round. It doesn't matter their growing season. However, if you were going to have strawberries on your menu, it would be something that was preserved, that you preserved in May or June when they became ready. So all the things here are going to be things that you can find in your cellar or things that you took off of your farm or were able to buy at a local butcher. So the first menu we're going to talk about here is the simplest of the 3. It's called Plain Dinner for Small Families. Again, these are 1847. Still seems like a very nice menu. There's 8 items on it. Beautiful menu. One of the things I want to point out here is salsify. Has anyone ever heard of salsify? Okay. Salsify is actually a root. It is a part of the daisy family. Daisy as in the flower. When you dig it up, it's black on the outside. When you peel it, it's white on the inside. And they say that when you cooked it, it tasted like asparagus. The texture would be more of like a parsnip, more of that root, but it tasted like asparagus. It was very common. It's actually on 2 of our 3 menus, and it was something that you would see pretty frequently. It would do really well in the cellar, so that's why it was often.
The first thing I'm going to show you here, actually, is a gingerbread man mold, which is made out of pewter. It's very heavy. This is actually modeled off of one from the 18th century. So what you would do is just put your batter in here with imprint, cut it out, and then put it in the oven to bake. And you have a nice little armored gingerbread man. And who doesn't love pie, right? This is actually a very beautiful pie dish. It's called redware, so it's clay.
Oh,
and,
very
it's expertly painted and quite intricate. So you'd actually bake in that. And then this here is what we would call a buck pan today. So same thing, your cakes or bread pudding was very prevalent back then. So with bread pudding, you cover it, put it in a water bath just like you do today. Anybody like to go antiquing at all?
See, I don't like bomb.
They rent this place for weddings.
Wouldn't you love to have a stained glass, like even an overlay?
I do, in my bathroom.
That's what I want to get. Is it a peel and stick or is it a
Peel and
hang?
stick. No, you just stick it on. I'll just take a picture when I might even take a picture when I get home.
So pretty.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Do you think that lady had a corset on?
No.
I didn't think so either.
And in 1862, they sold it to a Methodist congregation, which installed the stained glass windows but did not replace the steeple when it was destroyed during a storm in 1915. As the congregation grew, they added rooms, moved the entry to the side of the building, and rearranged the seating and chancel when the new Methodist church was built.
I just love the exterior. So pretty, isn't it? Oh yeah.
A new David Bradley walking cup, $14.85. First printed Christmas card was Sir Henry Cole's solution to a stack of unanswered mail in Victorian England. It was considered impolite to not answer mail, and the Britain's newly expanded penny post left Cole with a stack of letters. He had a printer make cards with generic greetings, say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. Cole caught up on his backlog of letters, and the commercial Christmas card was born in 1843.
Yeah.
Oh, I never got to go that place.
That doesn't surprise me at all, because it's really hard to find any information. A postcard, 2 stick candies, let me check. Yeah, 2 stick candies, 3 of the little wrapped candies.
That's nice. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That's really intricate.